Look, we're all aware you're stupid, so I'm pretty sure you're not seeing what the Trump family is doing on chain with Ethereum and Bitcoin right now. Specifically, the wallets connected to BlackRock, specifically their biggest accounts. What we're seeing on Ethereum and coins underneath it right now, don't even get me started on Solana and Cardano, is fucking nuts. The game potential is immense. And I was planning to make some big video, but I have to get this video out today because this info is going to be irrelevant in like 24 hours. And people that see this and take advantage of this now are setting themselves up for a perfect entry, a tier 10 penetration. A nice, wet, and cozy 10x, 20x entry on the next bull run. And everybody that doesn't get this right now is going to have to take massive risk and setting themselves up for massive losses in the future. Because I'm seeing an entry like 2023. And if you don't remember the results from that, we made a ton of money. And every turbo investor, every big insider investor is making these moves right now. And these new tariff updates have just added gasoline. And so you should know and understand this too. And what you should be doing in the sweatiest, fastest way possible. And this is meant to help you do it. I want to get into this right now. Let's just dive into it. Let's get into the charts. So we need to talk about this move that just happened and how it's going to send everything on Ethereum and underneath Ethereum nuts and give us a crazy ass entry. First things first though, be sure to subscribe and like this video because what I give in these videos and the projects I mention, it's time sensitive. The people that get here first have an advantage. And I make sure these videos go out to my subscribers first and people that like the videos see the videos first. On top of that, we have our meme coin dropping here likely in about a month. I can see everybody that's subscribed to this channel. And when it comes to the whitelist allocations on that, the people that are going to get access to the coin, aka it's 100% free, it's just first come, first serve. It's going to be preferential treatment to people that are subscribed. So for the love of God, subscribe so you see these videos first, because I'm going to be talking about a lot of projects on here and things I think are going to do very well that a lot of people don't know about. And if you want dibs on those, you got to be here first. So let's discuss. So first thing we got to do is talk about the current move in the market, and then what I'm talking about, what I've been referencing in this video, the amount of gains that we can potentially get into right here is going to be obvious to you. This is actually just a video begging you to help yourself, because the situation we have right now in the market is like, have you ever seen a girl that's like a 12 out of 10, but when she was in high school, middle school, she was a fatty, she was a chunk, just a real roly-poly kind of chick. But the really smart guys, the really clever ones who could see the depth of her soul, the fundamental cheekbones that she had, go, man, if that girl lost some weight, if she stopped being so damn fat, she stopped cramming those Oreos and Twinkies in her mouth at record amounts, she would be fucking hot as shit, man. The smart people at those times, they'd start buying her lunch, maybe giving her some Atkins bars, handing her pamphlets on the carnivore diet because they know the potential there. And in a couple of years later, when she's an absolute babe, she remembers, hey, that's the guy that liked me even though I was a fat fuck. That's the guy that even sat next to me in gym class even though I smelled like a fresh pressed pig straight out of yoga class. And that is how a 5'1" man like you gets laid here. This is the same exact situation. The market looks terrible. It's a real chunks, really belly hanging over the waistline kind of gal right now. But if you see the underlying bone structure, it is hot as fuck and you need to get in it now. You need to start investing in it. Here is why. So what we're seeing in the markets right now is you're seeing all this tariff stuff and stuff flying all over the place. You're seeing Donald Trump post an insider trade and saying buy now, get into the markets right before he turns the tariffs on and off. I'm sure you're aware of this situation that's been going on the last month. We saw Bitcoin go and take a massive dump when the tariffs were all coming online. And basically this entire year, we've been seeing these fears of tariffs happening and it's driving the market down to this big capitulation right here, which then Donald Trump went and then tweeted, okay, good time to buy. And then he released the tariffs and the market shot up. A lot of people that are really smarter than me on Twitter have all flipped bullish at this point. And I don't really think that matters because people on Twitter, people that are posting their trades, most of these people are retarded. You're better off getting advice from a penguin on Adderall you stole from the local zoo. I don't know how you create that situation, but that's how stupid people are when it comes to listening to trading advice. And we don't swing trade on this channel. We just hold. And the reason we're holding is because of the huge potential that we're about to see that is coming. But if you need any confirmation bias, I'm seeing everybody flipping bullish right here. And the real story is not what is going on with Bitcoin right here. It is what is going on with Ethereum. And if you understand this right here, this is where we're going to be getting these giant gains at. This is where the potential is at. It's not particularly in Ethereum, but let me explain real quick. So we are seeing max fear in the market. We are seeing this crazy amount of paranoia that actually makes no sense. We have seen crashes in the stock market, crashes in crypto that are the equivalent to the COVID crash, the equivalent to the 2008 crash. Why? If you look at the 2008 crash, we had banks folding. It was a serious problem. If you look at the COVID crash, holy shit, like literally the government was like, hey, you're not allowed to leave your house. The White House is posting on their site, hey, you're probably gonna die. Like they literally posted on their website, you're in for a winter of death. Inflation was running up to 80%. The cost of renting a studio apartment went from like $500 a month to just AIDS. That was the price. It was just AIDS. That's how expensive it got. Things were terrible. People are being laid off from their jobs like crazy. Whole entire business is being shut down. Things were terrible. And we crashed more or around the same levels of that. This is stupid if you don't catch my drift. This is dumb. This is the dumbest drop ever, and it's completely triggered by a controllable toggle via Donald Trump right here. So what you need to understand is that all the things we've been seeing with these markets right here, they're easily reversible in combination with the fact that there's more money sidelined in crypto and in general markets than ever before. So we are looking at this overdramatic crash that has no real merit behind it, that is completely controllable by who's in power. And this person that's in power is incentivized right now. They're getting the inflation low. They're changing the rates. That's what Trump is doing right now on the US debt. And if you think he's not going to pump the absolute shit out of this going in the midterms, I think you're crazy. This guy, look, we have a guy who literally will give you stock tips from his presidential account. We have a guy that will literally pump and dump a meme coin as president. Regardless of your feelings on this motherfucker likes to play the markets. He likes to move them up and down. And his little inbred insider trading children, they love it too. That this is not an ethical, let's let the markets do what they're going to do presidential administration. Okay, let's just get that straight. So all in all, I think we're about to rebound. And here's the crazy thing that I'm going to tell you in this video. I don't even think we saw the bull yet, because what we saw last year really appears like what we saw prior to the 2020 run. Now, I don't know if it's going to be this dramatic, but we saw like a pretty solid run. We saw Ethereum run from $100 all the way up to $400. Like we saw a good 4x on Ethereum. We saw Bitcoin do a similar 3, 4, 5x right there. We just saw that right here, okay? In the same exact time frame, we're seeing something very similar happening. So here's where the culmination of all this comes together. Here's the point of this video where I show you the light. Here's the point of this video where we whip out the cannons, all right? This is what you came for. I know you guys also come for the pack. Had to give that to you in the video. I know we didn't get on the intro. And by doing that, I'm at risk of losing my title of the gayest channel in all of crypto. I'm like SpongeBob SquarePants. I live in a gay bar under the sea. And I know all the men who watch this channel and the two girls, you come for the pack. So I got to keep that content sky high for my straight male followers who are very masculine. Because frankly, I can't let my view counts go down. We're in a bear market. I got to pay the bills somehow. So don't you worry. The low quality gay content is going to keep coming your way on this channel. No. And for the two girls that watch this channel, I'm married. This is not for you. Get your thirstiness somewhere else. Though if we do hit a $900 Ethereum, the Alex Becker OnlyFans that is coming out, it will be great. You guys think my six pack is great? You should see my dick. Okay, all right, but seriously, I mean, you guys think my six pack is great. You should wait till you see my Magnum Giant dog. It's very impressive. But that's only if we get the $900 Ethereum, which I don't think is going to happen because of this. Look, gentlemen, and you two thirsty women watching this channel, here is where we're going to get turbo f***ing rich, okay? So look, Ethereum is committing mass seppuku and everyone hates Ethereum right now. And there's two places where we're going to make a lot of money right now. One is just in Ethereum, but one is in everything that Ethereum triggers, which I'm about to tell you about. And that's where the real money is going to be made. So let me lay out this scheme for you, okay? So look, if you go and look at the overselling on chain, we look at the selling metrics of Ethereum compared to its past history and everything like that. It is more oversold than it's ever been oversold before, ever in the history of Ethereum. Like this is the most oversold, ridiculous overselling of it that we've ever seen. If Ethereum has any future of ever returning to its all-time high, which I think is almost guaranteed, this is one of the best buy points you're ever going to get by that metric. Now, combine that with the fear and greed index that we're looking at. The fear and greed index, particularly on Ethereum, but on just crypto as a whole, is at nuclear lows. It was like if you touch crypto, your father gets gonorrhea, like levels of fear. Just really scary stuff you don't want to put your hands on. You don't want that to happen. You don't want your poor old dad suffering from that in his older age. He's gone clean his whole entire life to this point, and you curse him with that shit. What are you doing? That's how bad it's been. And this is, again, ridiculous when we look at the context of the overall market and where everything is. This is This is silly, gentlemen. The tariffs and everything and the crash and everything we've seen with all the money that's absolutely sidelined, it's stupid. Then we have to look at the underlying scheme of it all. BlackRock and the Trumps are just the most dubious, silly motherfucker shenanigans on planet Earth. And what are they doing during this entire time? They are buying tons of ETH. Now, of course, I think Eric Trump at World Liberty Finance or whatever bottom sold ETH, but you have to factor in that Eric Trump is an inbred retard. So you can't factor that in. That does not match the bias I'm presenting in this video. Therefore, it is irrelevant. We don't factor in FUD or things that slightly contrast anything that I point out on this channel. 100% up only matches my bias exactly content. So that part of evidence, subtract it. But if you look at the Trump's wallets, you look at BlackRock's wallets, you look at all the, I'll get into the banks and everything here in a second. They are buying tons of Ethereum. Why are they doing this? Like, why would they be buying an asset that they think is going to crash even lower? Why would they be buying an oversold asset if they think it's going to die here? It's because it's not. And these people are the ones who control the finance across the entire world. All the banking institutions, all the money, they control all of it. We're ruled by these institutions, not actually our governments. So all evidence points to this. ETH being wildly oversold, the fear being wildly overstated, all the biggest money in the world buying, and then finally, we are seeing banks and all the cores of finance starting to build on Ethereum, which means that in the future, all of our transactions, all of our NFTs that represent our assets, our homes, everything, it's going to be on ETH for a bunch of reasons, because I'm not going to pitch all the benefits of ETH right here. And frankly, I think ETH is kind of dog shit, but I think all these things work themselves out in the future when it comes to the layer 2s and whatnot. And frankly, I don't care about the future. That's not my prerogative right now. I care about the short-term story that people are telling themselves that is going to play out here in the next 1 to 2 years. After that, I'm going to turbo dump on everybody. I don't give a shit what happens to ETH. They can go underwater and drag half of our financial system to hell. I don't care. I'll be in the Bahamas somewhere doing drugs. I don't care. So please keep that in mind. If your debate is like, well, long-term Ethereum's not going to work, I kind of agree with you. I just don't care. We're doing this to get rich quickly, gentlemen. We're not doing this to invest in the future. It's crypto. Keep telling people about the tech. Keep making them believe. It's imperative for our little Ponzi scheme we're building here. But we all know the real secret about what's going on. So you combine this all together, guys. We're in this one little situation right here. We're in a very unfair roulette table-like situation. So all indicators that we're looking at in the markets, even in stocks, even in crypto, point to a very unfair like roulette table situation. I want you to picture you go to a table in Vegas and you're betting on red or black, but red has a 60% chance. But if you win on red right here, you at least 3-4x your money. And if you look at the coins and projects I'm going to point out here in a second, you 15-20x your money. Let me back up. If you're dirt poor and you have like no money and you're having to dip into your savings account, your food money and stuff, don't get into that. Why are you watching this fucking channel? Go to work, get your life in order. All right. Now, do not invest in anything I talk about in this video, actually. Just full disclaimer, this is suicide. I'm sitting on this channel talking about your dad getting gonorrhea. If you lose money based on stuff on this channel, it's really your own fucking fault. Let's be real here. All right. I'm gambling like a degenerate, but backing up. We're sitting at a really unfair bet right now, because if we nail this right, we're looking at a minimum 3 to 4x on Ethereum back to its old all-time high. Like, it's literally a 3x back to its old all-time high. If it breaks it just a little bit more, it's 4x. Now, the coins underneath it, the altcoins underneath it, they're going to 5, 10, 15x. If we run. And so I'm not saying, hey, the bull's going to happen this year. I'd say there's a 60, 70% chance, though, that we bull. Okay. And if we do, the rewards are lopsided. If we bear from here, this is the bet. Okay. This is not me telling you where the market's going to go. If we bear from here, Ethereum could go down, let's say, to $700 or something like that. That's like a terrible end of the world situation. And if that happens, you should keep buying more, frankly. But if that happens, yeah, we're going to lose 50% of our money. But if the bull happens right here from these insane points right here, this insane fear, these insane points of overselling, like record levels of overselling, that line up perfectly with the flows of the last bull run, while all the biggest institutions and the Trumps and everybody that has a lot of money and insider information is buying the shit out of it. If we see a bull from these points with the most record amounts of money sidelined in crypto and in other assets ever, tons of people who've been watching CNN stocking up on gold and all these other assets because they think the world's about to end, when there's literally nothing indicating that. If we get a bull from these points, which by all these points right here, if you line these up in the past, if you look at any time where the financial climate lined up with all the things I just talked about, you are buying at the best time ever. So the odds, my young Padawan, are in our favor. And so if we get a bull from here, the returns are going to be outrageous. And it's put us in a very unique situation right here. Let me explain the two situations I'm looking at right here. So there's two type of investment situations we're looking at right here. One where we're looking to safely invest in crypto. And by safely invest in crypto, I mean we're going to invest in coins that are going to likely be around in 5 years from now. If they crash from this point, we're probably only going to see a 50% crash. Okay, that's the first type of investing we're going to look at right here. And in these type of investments, we can kind of look at 3 to 4x's to 7x's on these coins. That's great. The way we want to trade in this is with large sums of money. For example, if I'm not suggesting you do this at all. This is just me. So I'm very comfortable putting in like 10, 20% of my net worth in this right here in order to 2, 3, 4x it. I'm very comfortable doing that. And if I lose, let's say I put 15% of my net worth in here, which is pretty large. I'm not going to lie. My dick, my magnum dong, I do all right in actual business. This is just my side hobby because I'm a degenerate piece of shit. But if I put that in there and I lose 50% of that, that's fine. I can replace that. That's not going to set me back in life forever. But if it hits, I've increased my net worth 50, 60, 70%. That's how I'm trading with these type of coins I'm going to talk about initially first. But then the second hand part of here is the coins underneath the smaller altcoins. They're going to 10, 15, 20x from these points because people, if you think they've oversold ETH, these are oversold at the points of, it's depravity because of all the things I mentioned before. Those are going to 10, 15x. And so if I put in, let's say 2% of my net worth, I can go and increase my net worth 50, 40, 60, in some cases 100% from these small, relatively ballsy bets. And so those are the two situations we're going to talk about right here. So the places we want to be looking at right now. One, just straight up Ethereum. If I was the most boring motherfucker on planet Earth, I think the odds of Ethereum going back to an all-time high are like 90%. Now, in 3 years from now, if this doesn't happen, please come quote this video, slap me across the face with the dick of shame. I get it. A lot of people are saying ETH is never going to do this again, and that's the reason why I'm so bullish. Eventually, if we want to make a lot of money doing this, we're going to have to take some contrarian bet right here. And I think the easiest contrarian bet on planet Earth is that ETH is oversold and everyone's being stupid. If you look at every underlying thing, it looks bullish as fuck. So if I'm just being boring, I'm just going to chuck a bunch of money on ETH. Worst case scenario right here, ETH goes down to $700, $500, and I'm wrong, and I'm just like, shit, damn it, that's obnoxious. Both can happen. Losing 50%, making a 3, 4x that looks very likely, that's a great bet that I'm going to take. I'm playing the odds. I'm not predicting the future. Please always understand these videos. Now, if ETH goes back to all-time high, there is one thing we can expect right here. It's that the coins underneath it are going to go nuts. So obviously, if we're, again, being big, boring investors right here, let's not get creative. This is great beginner investing right here. My suggestion to you, as always, is don't touch this at all. Stay very far away. Stay very far away. When people ever meet me in real life, they're like, oh, hey, Alex, how's it going? I watch your channel. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. My apologies. That person in the videos, that is not me. Why are you doing this? Why are you being so irresponsible? And they're like, no, I love crypto. It's great. Do you have any coins I should get into? And I always tell them, get the fuck out of here. Stop. Take everything, sell it now. That's literally what I tell people in real life because this is super dangerous. But if you must play, if you must put your dick in the pencil sharpener, the best place to start as a beginner, which is 95% of you, you should just stop here at these suggestions right here. We can go look at coins like Solana, Doge, Cardano, AVAX. I love Chainlink, but I don't think it's ever going to produce gains ever. So I'm going to hold Chainlink, but that's kind of like that fat girl in high school who like you keep giving her Atkins bars, you put her on carnivore, and she just keeps getting fatter. And you're just like, fuck, I'm stuck with this fat, stinky bitch. But it is the most useful coin in all of crypto. I'm going to stick to that. So really, we can just come in here, guys, and I would just grab SUI, AVAX, Cardano, Doge, Solana, and maybe XRP. I like XRP here. I think if we want to get the best gains, let's look at the X's on all of these. I think Ethereum can easily 3 to 4x here. It could, in a cool case, 5, go all the way up to 10K right here. So that's the best case scenario. XRP right here will get, I think, slightly higher gains than that. It has a lot of potential to actually go up to the same market cap as ETH and then keep going. Bankers absolutely love this coin. So I think we could see very similar gains, maybe 25%, 50% higher than Ethereum right here. Now, once we get down to BNB, Solana, Doge, Cardano, this is where we start seeing the 5, 6, 7Xs. I think the best coin out of all of these, I'd be comfortable holding. Binance is doing some silly shit right now. I think BNB is going to do really well, but the stuff I see Binance constantly doing makes me think that everyone there is going to go to prison. So I would just kind of skip BNB. There's a chance it does really great here, but like, why take the risk? And if someone from Binance here is hiring assassins to come kill me right now for saying this, just stop listing meme coins over legitimate projects and then dumping them as soon as they go on your exchange. It looks look at these charts. This looks terrible. Stop doing this. It's not good for your brand. I really like Binance. I love Binance. Please don't have me killed. All right. So look, where I'd be starting at would be Solana in this case if I want the bigger gains. Now, I don't like Solana in this instance, not because Solana is bad. It's just because it really had a massive bull run already. And so a lot of the gains have come there. It went from $12 to $100. We have not seen those gains yet in these other coins down here. I think the top performer right here, and this kills my soul to say it, my dick is shriveling inside my body as these words leave my mouth. I think Cardano is going to be the biggest gainer from here.
No, God, please, no.
This thing is probably in a bull run going to $4. So we're looking at just phenomenal, insane gains on Cardano. I would just be stocking up on it right now because I think Cardano, I hate the holders. Like if you're watching this right now and you're a Cardano holder, like I actively dislike you. If you come and see me in public, I'm going to stab you with a knife. I'm always carrying. And if you're one of the few Cardano holders that's above 4'9", I'm probably going to shoot you because you're a crazy person that has a little bit of weight behind you. I'm not going to jujitsu rest you. I'm just going to shoot you dead right there because I know you guys are some sick, sadistic motherfuckers. You've been living under your staircase like Harry Potter. Some other dude bangs your wife for the last 4 years. Your mind is broken. You've been living off pizza crust and the leftovers of Lunchables that your kids who no longer respect you leave laying around the house. You're rabid. You're feral creatures. I fear you and I hate you. So please understand that. That being said, the technology behind Cardano is really great. And Charles Hoskinson has been on Twitter and quoted insulting people because their father didn't pull out or wear a condom when fucking their moms. And I think that's extremely bullish. I mean, honestly, that's probably the most bullish thing I could put up there. If you compare it against Vitalik's recent behavior, I mean, Charles is looking pretty cool at these points. So that right there, the combination that Cardano is extremely fast, really good tech, and very decentralized, with the fact that Charles is insulting people's pullout skills on Twitter, I think is really good for the project. Now, if we come down, AVAX, really good. I think all of gaming is going to be built on this. It's extremely good for that type of technology. I think gaming is one of the most bullish narratives. AVAX, great. SUI is like Solana, but with tons of hype. I don't know what the it does, but people are all about this, and I see similar amounts of hype to that. Dogecoin is just the meme coin, the international meme coin of crypto. I think it's going to do really good gains as well. I'm not touching Dogecoin, not because I don't think it's going to do well. I just think we're going to see similar gains in Cardano. I think we're going to see similar gains in AVAX, and I feel a lot better about holding Cardano and AVAX than I do Dogecoin. So this is where I'm going to stop at if I want a big chunky, like, set and forget portfolio. The last place I'm going to stop is going to be RWA and AI coins right now. Now, why RWA and AI coins? RWA coins are going to be the coins that are based around moving real world assets into on-chain technology. So moving the stock market, moving houses over, moving cars over, moving everything we do on the chain. Okay. And so some really good top coins. I'm going to give you the smaller coins. I'm going to do the crazy numbers here in a second. But if I'm just being really safe and conservative here, I'd go with I'd go with Ondo. And if I wanted a big one that I think is going to run really far, or actually two that I think are going to run really well, I would go with Zig and Pinlink. Zig is like a layer or a chain that a lot of RWA is going to be on, and Pinlink just released like a DEX or a Uniswap of this. When these assets run, which they are, because this is what BlackRock is really into, this is going to be the big sexy narrative, I promise you. Those coins are going to run. Now I'm going to give you the smaller ones I think are going to do the 10, 20 crazy X's here in a sec. Now, if I'm getting into the next place, AI is going to change the world immensely here in the next 2 to 3 years. I work in tech and SaaS, and I actually build businesses there, and I build a lot of SaaS companies, and the stuff I'm seeing on AI is just, it's blown me away. It's incredible what is going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. The hype around this, though, is going to be insane. This is going to make the .com boom look like a Cardano holder's dick, which is small. It requires tweezers for stimulation. It's going to look very minuscule, is what I'm trying to say here. So with what I'm actually seeing in the real tech and the hype it's going to bring, this is going to transfer over to crypto incredibly well. I've already talked about in other videos how well AI and crypto tag team together. And I think this is going to be maybe the most pumpiest, explosive one. So in the same process of RWA, where I would start at with these is I would get Near Protocol, Internet Computer, and BitTensor. That's going to do very, very, very well for you. There's a lot of other great AI coins. Again, I'll give you the smaller 10, 15x ones here in a second. But if I'm looking at like the big beginner portfolio, that's what I'm doing right there. The kind of mid-cap ones that I think are going to run and do very well, I would go with AOS, and Destra is going to do crazy numbers as soon as we rebound right here. The cool thing we've been seeing with AI coins is, yeah, they've been down with Ethereum, but the second the market reverses, they pump super hard, like 30, 50% every single time, showing people are just ready to pile into these things. And so those are kind of two of like the upper, more riskier picks that I pick. Now, that's my overall view on the market. If you want those smaller, crazier, more pumpy coins where the crazy gains are going to be, I'm going to get that to you in a second. But first off, that's my overall view on the market. That's what I think is happening right here. We are just at a point right here where there's two things that are going to happen. One, this is the most oversold, ridiculous it's ever been, and we are at the bottom, or very near to the bottom. I do not see these prices we're at right now, or these buy points right here, over the next 6 months to a year being bad prices. I don't care if we go 20% lower. I don't care if we go 10% lower. I don't know what's going to happen yet, but I would be blown away if in 6 months, a year from now, worst case scenario, 2 years from now, these are not some of the best buy prices you're going to see in the last decade of crypto. This looks like everything. If we look at the fear, the trauma, the overselling, what the big wallets are doing, this all lines up with some of the biggest runs in crypto history. So that's why I'm just like, let's do this. Let's be all in. And that's why I'm still holding everything I've talked about on this channel. That's why I've just turned my brain off. I'm saying, Jesus, take the wheel here. So that being said, the smaller, more pumpier, like crazy coins, you're going to get the results in. There are two videos I've made on this channel. There's an RWA video that will be popping up right here, and there's an AI video will be pumping right here. This goes into all the smaller, really pumpy coins. We can get the crazy gains at. This is advanced stuff. This is where all the crazy gains are going to be at that are very, very risky for you tier 10 degenerates. Watch those videos. Each of these videos right here is another huge, big topic on its own. You should understand the niches. You should understand the industries on their own. And we don't have time to include both of that in this video. So I've made these videos right here. And